Ha! Have you ever woken up and felt like you were just going through the motions in someone else's life? Maybe you have big dreams and huge goals, but they always feel like they are just out of reach or reserved for someone luckier than you. I used to feel that exact same way until I realized that the life I wanted was something I had to wait for, but something I could actually design. I am going to share the exact 3 easy tasks I use to script my dream life. And the best part is that you can start doing this today without any special tools or a massive life overhaul. The first thing I did was start what I call the present tense script. Most people write their goals as things they want to happen in the future, saying things like, I want to be successful, or I will be happy one day. The problem with that is your brain keeps those desires at a distance. Instead, I started grabbing a notebook every single morning and writing out a detailed description of my perfect day, as if it had already happened. I would write about the smell of the coffee in my beautiful kitchen, the feeling of excitement I had starting my work, and the peace I felt in my relationships. I used words like I am and I have instead of I want. This shifts your mindset from a state of lack to a state of abundance. When you describe your dream life in the present tense, you are literally training your brain to recognize opportunities that align with that reality. It feels a bit strange at first, but after a few days, your subconscious starts to believe it, and you begin to act like the person you are describing. Once I had my script, the second task was all about what I call action alignment. You can write all day long, but if your actions do match the character you are playing, nothing will change. I looked at the person I described in my script and asked myself, what does that version of me do differently? If the dream version of me is healthy and full of energy, would they really hit the snooze button 5 times and skip breakfast? Probably not. So I started making tiny shifts. I did try to change my whole life in 24 hours, because that is a recipe for burnout. Instead, I picked one small action every day that aligned with my script. If I scripted that I was a successful writer, I made sure to write at least 10 minutes a day. If I scripted that I was confident, I practiced making eye contact and smiling at strangers. Small wins build up over time and create a massive amount of momentum. You start to see that the gap between who you are and who you want to be is actually much smaller than you thought. It is all about those tiny, consistent choices that prove to yourself that you are becoming that person. The third and final task is the evening gratitude loop. This is how you close the day and prepare your mind for even more growth while you sleep. Every night before I go to bed, I write down 3 things that happened that day, which felt like they were straight out of my dream life. Even on the worst days, there is always something. Maybe it was a nice conversation with a friend, or a moment of quiet peace during my commute. By focusing on these moments, you are reinforcing the script you wrote in the morning. You are telling your brain that the dream is already manifesting in small ways. This keeps you from falling into the trap of thinking that you will only be happy once you reach the finish line. It makes the journey itself feel like a success. When you fall asleep in a state of gratitude for what you already have, you wake up the next morning ready to write an even better script. These 3 tasks changed everything for me because they took my dreams out of my head and put them into my daily routine. It is not about magic or luck. It is about intentionality and consistency. You have the power to rewrite your story whenever you want, and I really hope you give these steps a try because you deserve to live a life that makes you excited to wake up every single morning. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, I would love for you to follow along for more tips on creating your best life. You have got this, and I will see you in the next one.